Okay, welcome to our Flytrippers monthly live video. For those who don't know me yet, I'm Andrew, one of the two co-founders of Flytrippers. The other co-founder, his name's Kevin. He's actually traveling in Africa right now, so time zones, it's pretty late. So I'll have Evelyn, I'll have her join me in the video right now. Welcome, Evelyn. So she's one of our team members here at Flytrippers. She'll help me manage the Q&A portion if we have any questions a little bit later in a few minutes. For now, let's do something, Evelyn. Can you use the link for the live video and use our Facebook post scheduler and put it on every English page except Toronto? That makes sense? Use the scheduler to do it as a link share. Or prepare it in the sheet and I'll go and check it just to make sure. So just have a little bit more people joining us on the different pages. So
yeah, for now, I'm just not seeing it on Flytrippers, the one with no city.
It's on Toronto. That's why I did the opposite that I said I would do. So that's why we need to do it on the sheet to share it for everyone else.
Got it.
D just said hi. So hello, D. So welcome. Just to give you a little bit of information about what we do with Flytrippers, we help you travel for less. Every month, we also do these live videos to help you out, answer all of your questions, really. So we do these every single month. This is the live video for the month of May. And we usually start with a short themed presentation for the topic of the month. And then we get into the Q&A. There's really no structure after the presentation at the beginning. We just want to answer any topics, whatever's related to travel. We can help you share our experience and help you out with that. So the theme for this month is a little bit special, is the amazing deal for free hotels. So I know we've talked about it for a while because it's really just that good. First of all, it's the only deal we recommend for every single traveler. And second of all, it's only increased once per year usually. So it ends tonight. So last chance, if you want to apply very quickly, this is your time to do so. So you need to apply by the end of the day. I'll put the link in the comments if you want to go through our link. By the way, we always appreciate it, and it's at absolutely no cost to you. And often, not in this particular case, but you never get a worse offer, but you sometimes get a better offer than what you get by going directly to the bank websites. So if you're looking for all our deals, by the way, it's always on flytrippers.com/cards. And it's also in the top menu if you click travel rewards or if you click resources and then credit cards ranking. So get all the best offers for free points. For points for free travel, pardon me. So this deal right now that I just put the link, by the way, it's a very, very good deal for all types of traveler in the sense that if you want things to be simple, you get this card, you can use your points for free hotels in the world's largest hotel chain. It's 8,000 hotels. It'll give you about $600 worth of hotels. It varies by hotel, by date of stay, by date of booking. It varies a little bit, but still overall, it's relatively always going to be close to $600, $639 to be precise at our Flytrippers valuation. Really simple. That way you don't have to do anything. You don't have to put in any effort. You can keep your brain unused, as many people want to do, like no effort, no complexity. You can do that. But the great thing about this type of points is that they can also be worth a lot more if you use them well. So this welcome bonus from just this card can also give you 11 free nights in places like Bali. And if you prefer luxury instead of quality over quantity, you can actually get a free night worth $3,000 in some hotels. So that's the extreme value you can get on this. Again, if you want it to be simple, $600, there you go. If you want to maximize, we will help you do that. That's our passion, getting more out of everything. So we'll help you get 3 times more value with those points if you want to. But what really is more pressing is that the offer ends tonight. So that's why I wanted to make that the theme for this month. If you have any questions, we'll take them about this card or any other thing related to travel. But just to close it off, again, it's very rare it's really the only card that we say is for every single traveler. You should get plenty others, and there are plenty good ones, but they all depend on what you prefer, what your travel style is, and all that. But this one is really very, very good for everyone. So let me pause here for a second just to see with Evelyn. So did you manage to get the link? Yeah, it's there. Okay, perfect. So you didn't click yet, Evelyn?
Yeah, that was my. I just want to be sure.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Yeah, so it's all good. That's exactly what I wanted. So you can click that so maybe more people can join us from the other pages. Just trying to get as many people to get on this side. Really, like, I don't really care what you do. Like, everyone, you can do whatever you want, but I really, really find it so unfortunate that so many people miss out on like these deals with points. Again, this seems like it's too good to be true, but that's the world of travel rewards. Banks, in case you hadn't noticed, have a shit ton of money. If you haven't looked at the news yet, banks have plenty of money, and they actually use it to do marketing spend in a very unconventional way, is that they give you points for you to try their card. And that's the whole gist of travel rewards. So you really should take advantage of it. You're really missing out if you're not. And this one is a really, really good one to start with, because again, it can be super simple, but it can also be very valuable. And it's way easier to maximize hotel points compared to airline points, because hotel points, there is no limited seats. So any hotel room in the world's largest chain, 8,000 hotels, 30 different brands. If it's available with cash, you can use your points. It's really that simple. And there are no taxes to pay. So where flights, if you're using airline points, the flights, you have to pay the taxes. You do not need to do that with hotel points. So it's very, very easy to maximize. And yeah, so in a nutshell, if you're only going to get one travel rewards deal this entire year, and I highly encourage you to get more to improve your credit score, contrary to the common myth, get more benefits, get more points. But if you're just going to get one before tonight, again, apply for this through our link and you'll get 71,000 Marriott points. Amazing for a lot of free hotels. And I'm trying to see if I covered everything I wanted to say about this deal. Oh yeah, if you already have it, there's a business version. And again, it's a very counterintuitive world, right? Like I said, and you don't have to have a business to get Marriott Bonvoy Business. And Evelyn will put the link for that one as well, for the business version. Oh, she already did. She's really fast. So that's another very good offer. If you want more points, if you already got the first one, well, there you go. You can get that. There are instructions to follow if you're applying for a business card and you don't have an incorporated business. So she'll put the link for that as well. Very simple instructions on how to apply for that. So that'll give you another welcome bonus, but also another great certificate. So that's the last thing I'll say for our presentation before I open it up to the Q&A. And I see already a few questions. So if you're there are a couple dozen of you, so don't be shy. Please ask your questions. That's why we're here. So last thing I'll say is this card really has an amazing certificate. It's literally one of the best card benefits of any card in Canada. So every year when you renew your card, you'll get a certificate worth $315. But it can also be worth a lot more. It could be worth $800, for example, if you use it right, and we'll help you do that. But you can also use it really simply. It's always going to be worth more than the fee. That's $120. So a really, really, really good benefit. That's why it's the only card no one should close either. Never. Usually, sometimes it's more commonly, the cards don't have great value the second year, but this one has great value every single year, which is why it makes it one of the best and why literally everyone should get it with no exceptions. So there you go. Last thing, not to put any pressure on you, but it really does end tonight. So it's once a year. That's why, if you're going to get it, it's a really good time to get it. So let's open it up for the Q&A. I see a few questions. Hopefully we get a bit more. Come on, don't be shy, please.
All right. So we've got first here Patricia, who wants to know, I have Cobalt for grocery and gift cards, TD Visa Aeroplan, and just signed up for Amex Marriott. for non-category spend, do you recommend using Marriott at 2 times the point, or it depends on what points I'm trying to accumulate?
Yeah, it really depends. I was checking something. I don't see the post on any other page, Evelyn. Did you click on the?
Yes, let me.
Okay, so maybe it's an issue that we need to actually have some text. So let's just try this. Sorry for everyone. I'll do very quickly. So if you want to click again, Evelyn, I just added that.
Right.
We'll see if that works to get more people on here. So really depends on your approach, and this is not related just to that card. So there are two approaches. If you want to maximize, the key is really to basically try to get zero spend outside of your welcome bonuses. Because let's say you're going to spend $3,000 in the next 3 months. No matter the card you use, it's not going to be that big of a earn rate, right? Even with a Cobalt, like if it's groceries, you'll get 5 points per dollar. So that's worth 7.5% back, 10% if you use business class flights, but still quite low. But if you're unlocking a welcome bonus, you're getting 15%, 17% back. That's how great welcome bonuses are. So that's the first, I have to, as a good pro travel rewards enthusiast, I have to tell you that's the best option. Always using a card on which you're unlocking a welcome bonus. Always trumps any other earn rate, even the best one, the Cobalt. So, but then if you don't want to go through the effort of getting more bonuses, better credit score, and better benefits, more benefits, Marriott card is a really good card for non-bonused categories because you earn 2 points per dollar everywhere instead of sometimes one. Well, most of the time, one everywhere else. On every other card, I mean. So yeah, it's a very good card. But again, it also, like you said, you kind of nailed it right there. You also depends on what you're prioritizing at the moment. Like sometimes, let's say you're going to Bali, it's a really good place to maximize the points from Marriott in Bali. So yeah, at that point, you try to maximize your Marriott stash so that you can use them while there. If you're planning to go somewhere where the flights are super expensive and Aeroplan has a good deal on partner airlines, for example, well, then you'll try to get Aeroplan points and all that. So it depends. Yeah. So basically, my answer is yes, you're right. You've nailed it. Like first, though, prioritize welcome bonuses always if you want the most value. But then after that, depends on the earn rate on each category, and then also the points you're trying to get at that specific moment. So I still don't see it. Do you see it? Have you clicked?
No, that's what I was typing to you. It's not working.
Okay, so
It's not posting, but I can post on every single city the link.
yeah, do that. I'll do the questions just so we can see if we can have a little bit more people here. So next question is Crystal. We only really care for Aeroplan points. What are our best options for increasing it quickly? Every card in Canada, you can get the welcome bonus an unlimited amount of times on the same card, with 2 exceptions: American Express cards and Aeroplan cards. Those are the 2 exceptions. So with Aeroplan, you can get 4 welcome bonuses based on the new rules, or 5 if you have an actual business. So you should make sure you've gotten each level of Aeroplan card. That's the easiest way. So there's premium level. The American Express Reserve card is the best because there's no minimum income. So I will, again, you can check this ranking here in the comments. You can find it there, the Reserve. Then you need a Visa Infinite or an American Express Aeroplan card. And then the no fee cards or low fee cards, it's the 3rd level. Not a huge bonus, but then again, if you're only wanting those points, you can get that one to get a little bit of a stash. And then after that, you have the American Express membership rewards earning cards. So Platinum, Gold, Cobalt, Green, Platinum Business, no business required. Gold Business, no business required. And Edge Business, no business required. So that's right there off the top of my, that's 11 total Aeroplan welcome bonuses that you can get. If you haven't gotten all of those yet, well, then that's where you should start. That'll be the easiest way to get a big stash of Aeroplan points. American Express membership rewards points can be transferred 1-to-1 to Aeroplan, in case you didn't know. So that's a really good way to get more points. But then after that, it gets a little dicier, but I'm sure you still have a few in there that you can get, but we'll have pro tips for those who want even more after that. But I think that should get you started in terms of the bonuses there that you might not have had yet. We're actually really close to publishing finally our guide to those Aeroplan rules, more detailed, so that you can see which cards you can get, which ones you can't get, based on the ones you've had in the past. So just checking here. Okay, so that was the message that Evelyn sent me earlier. I just noticed it. I'm a little late. Okay, so next question we have Ahmad. If we take advantage of this offer and get the new card while having another existing card, do I keep this new card for a year and then close it? How does it work? Do we always keep taking advantage of these offers, but wouldn't be staking up more and more cards? So I will add a link here that's a very, very good read for everyone who's even slightly interested in travel rewards. It's our one pager. It's an infographic with everything you need to know to get started, the basics. So you have the 6 most important things there. You also have the 6 steps. So if you look at the 6 steps, you apply for welcome bonus, you unlock the welcome bonus. At the end is reevaluate the card. So the key there is to not keep the card if it no longer gives you value. Some cards give you value the second year, but most don't. So it really depends on how much you value each card's benefits. So it's very personal. I can't tell you like, oh, close this card, keep this card, except the Marriott card. This one everyone should keep because of that free certificate. But every other card, just look at the benefits. How much are they worth to you? And then look at the fee and decide that. But yeah, if you don't want to have an unlimited amount of cards, you have to reevaluate them at the end of the first year. Never before, just at the end of the first year. So the last month. That way you kind of go through a few that aren't worth keeping, and you can keep slots open in your wallet for new ones, for example, and new welcome bonuses. But this one, again, just to be very clear, the one that ends tonight, you should all keep because of that certificate. Really makes no sense to close it. Yeah, it's more of the exception than the rule for sure, but that's a good example that not all rules are at large, right? Because most of the time not worth keeping, but this one it is. Okay, so next, if that answer wasn't really what you were looking for, if you want to follow up, please feel free. Anyone who's here with us tonight. I have one comment here, the nice credit card. Yes, indeed, it's really one of the best, honestly. Like, again, if you've been following us for the 7 years we've been talking about travel, helping you travel for less, I can guarantee you've never heard me say everyone should get this card except this one. Like, it's the only one. And I will never say it for any other card because it always depends for the other cards, but this one, really everyone should get. Dorothy, question. I currently have a card that I can't name for bank reasons. It's on a ranking. If you want to read Aeroplan points, read which cards have Aeroplan points, by the way. Everything's always on a ranking. So I recall you saying on your last live video that you already had an Aeroplan card. You may not be eligible for another sign-up bonus. Can I apply for another card from that bank that is not an Aeroplan card that I can still not give you the name because of bank reasons and qualify for the bonus? The answer is yes. So for those who want to know those card names, again, look at our ranking, and the one she's asking about is number 3, and the other one is number 6 on that ranking. They're different cards. And by the way, all of our card pages have that very specific rule spelled out explicitly in the summary table at the top. So for example, if you go to that first gray card that isn't a Marriott card in our ranking, you will click on that, and at the top it'll say eligibility for welcome bonus. You must not have had this card for 12 months. So that's fine. You've never had that card. You didn't have it in the last 12 months, so you're eligible. After that, Aeroplan is the separate rules, but that only affects Aeroplan cards. So the second one you named is not an Aeroplan card, so you're all good. Okay, so next question, Jennifer. Have the same question. Got the card I can't name with Flytroopers Toronto suggested had an awesome welcome bonus. Plan on cashing in the points in the fall. Should I just cancel the card then? Well, if you got the offer, I think you actually have a renewal bonus that you could choose to get as well. So you had to spend 5,000 in 6 months, but if you spent another extra 2,500 in the first 12 months and renewed the card, you get another bonus. In that case, you're better off keeping this one because it's worth more than the card fee, and that way you keep the card for another year with all its benefits. But that's only if you want to spend another $2,500. Maybe your $2,500 is better spent on another welcome bonus. That's up to you. That's really depending on what your plan is. If you're not going to get any other card, well then for sure keep this one with the renewal bonus. But that is up to you. But then after that, at the end of the second year, you reevaluate the card. So in this case, it's an Aeroplan card worth $139 in terms of fees. So you look at the $139. What do I get? Well, first you get discounts on Aeroplan flights on Air Canada only, not on partners. Not worth a lot unless maybe you do travel a lot on Air Canada with Aeroplan points, and then maybe it's worth it for you to keep that benefit. Depends on how much you value that. There's also the free bag on Air Canada. I'm a pro flyer, so I never check bags, so that benefit to me is worth zero. That's me. If you tend to bring too much stuff and pay for checked bags on Air Canada, well, keeping the card makes sense because you're saving a checked bag for you and 8 other people on the same booking every time you check in with Air Canada. So that's substantial savings if you do pay for bags. So just again, always follow those 6 steps on our basics that we've listed there and reevaluate the card when it's due for renewal. Never before the renewal. And in this case, take into account the renewal bonus, which is not often offered, but in this case, it's offered on that card. So make sure you're doing the math on that as well. One of the 6 most important things on that same infographic that summarizes everything is to always do the math. It's really very basic. Just look at what something costs, what it gives you. And that's true for everything in this world, just doing the math all the time. So Evelyn, I think you're back. You're done with all the posts on the other pages. Cool.
Yeah, it's on all the other pages now. So
okay, so that's why I think we might have a little bit more people on it too. So great, thanks. So yeah, I'll let you take over the questions while I just go and make sure everything is fine on the other end.
all right. So Crystal's asking, if you don't use the free night, do they back it for the next year?
That's a great question. So unfortunately, no. So the one thing you just want to be very clear about is that with points, the points you get, for example, this card, the points you get, you have no time limit to use them. It's very important to understand. So points, no limit. The certificate is different because they give it to you every year when you renew. So they want you to use it that year, and they will not, you can't roll them over. You can't combine them from with other years. You can only use it that year, unlike the points. But if you have the Marriott card, you can also get the Marriott business card. Then you have 2 certificates. You can combine those, right? And then have a nice 3-day, 2-night weekend. Or if you have a travel companion, then travel companion can get both cards as well. Now you have 4 certificates. That's what I do with my girlfriend. That's the best way to get really nice long stay out of those great certificates. So 4 certificates back to back to back every single year. So it does cost us about $500 in fees, but the hotels we get with those 4 certificates are literally worth almost $2,000 sometimes. So it's really, really good. But yeah, it depends on how much you value those free nights, luxury nights, because those are in luxury hotels, especially if you're outside North America, because everything's always better outside North America, obviously, in terms of travel. But yeah, it's a really good deal.
All right, so next question is from Hamad saying, well, thank you so much for answering that question, but following up, if we close credit cards after first year, doesn't it impact our credit history? I like the offers and want to take advantage.
Yeah, so the impact is very minimal because it's a very new card. So what you need to know about credit scores, that's why in our summary there, infographic, maybe you can put the link again, just so it's close by so that everyone reads it. It's really important. I beg you, everyone, just take 5 minutes. It'll give you the most important information on the whole world of travel rewards. And I will challenge you, because I'll tell you 99% of people aren't even willing to put in 5 minutes to learn anything about this. You're all here on a beautiful Monday night, so obviously you're already way ahead of all those people, but just add that extra 5 minutes. You'll get so much value out of reading those key things. So yeah, that's why in there it says never close your old cards. What we mean by old cards is not the new ones you're getting for the welcome bonus now, because obviously you don't even have them, so they're not old. They won't be old in a year either. That's just 1 year. We're talking about the old cards. You have to never close them, because 15% of your credit score is your average age of accounts. So you want to keep very old cards. They're really good for your credit score. You never want to close them. If they have a fee, you can downgrade those to a no fee version. That way you keep your credit line open, keep the history, keep your great credit score, but without paying fees for nothing. But then your new cards, if you close them, you just got them a year ago. So like they don't have a really good impact on your age of accounts anyways. So as long as you keep getting new ones to keep your credit utilization low, because that's why having more cards is actually better for your credit score, unlike what everyone or just about everyone thinks, because as long as you pay on time, your credit utilization rate will go down. That's 30% of your credit score. So as long as you don't just close your card without replacing it, you just get another one, get a new welcome bonus, and then you close the other one, and then your credit score is going to way up. My credit score is in the 800s, by the way, which is the best you can get with 10, 12 cards every year that I get every year. You don't have to start that intensely, of course. I've been doing this for 15 years. It's a marathon, not a sprint, but that's how it works. It's just simply mathematical, better score if you get more cards and you pay everything on time, and you never close your oldest cards, the old ones, and you space out your application days by 2 to 3 months. Again, all this is in our summary, the very most important things. But yeah, if you're just starting out with the Marriott card tonight, don't worry about anything. Just don't close your old cards, because that's a common mistake. People will be like, oh yeah, I'll get a new card, close the old one. Then their credit score drops and they're like, oh, getting cards is bad. No, it's not because you got a card. It's because you closed your old one. Again, very normal not to know this. It's kind of counterintuitive, but that's how credit scores work.
All right, so next question from Philip asking, if I just applied for an Amex this weekend, how bad is it for my credit if I apply for the Amex Marriott Bonvoy now?
And it's not the end of the world, honestly, as long as you're not always doing that. Like that's why we say 2 to 3 months spacing out your application, is because we don't want you to be like doing the whole year 1 card per month. That's not good. But if it happens once, you apply for 2 in like a 1 week span, and then just wait 3 and maybe 4 months instead, so that you can get the increased benefit of these new cards on your credit score. And it's not the end of the world. If it's worth it to you for a big bonus, and if especially you're able to unlock the minimum spend on 2 cards at once, then you can go for it again, especially for a really good offer. If you're not going to do that all the time, it's fine.
All right. Fahad saying that a Canadian credit card program and options suck compared to US ones.
Yes, but that's how it is. Still, 100% true. Everything is better in the US in terms of rewards, but remove the US, and Canada's literally number 1 in the world. Like, could be a lot worse. Have you ever looked at cards in the UK, in Australia? Like, the welcome bonuses are non-existent. So, and even the rewards, the daily, so yes, US is better, but we literally have it better than every other country except the US. So it could be a lot worse. So that's why next time if you hear about those political parties trying to cap interchange fees to help local businesses, as if the local businesses would actually give you a discount and lower their prices, of course not. They just pocket the difference. So please always push back on that, because that's your rewards that are at risk if that goes through. So yeah, but in the US, everything's better for sure. No doubt about it. The only thing, and I think this is a great example. The only thing, Kevin, our Flytrippers co-founder, who's sleeping in Africa right now, his girlfriend is American, So obviously she has, I think, 34 US credit cards right now. Way better than ours. Yes, of course. But she just got this card, Marielle Bonvoy, for the increased bonus. As an American, the only thing that really was worth it in Canada for an American was this. Why? Because of that free certificate. Every single year, you pay $100 for her. 120 in our pesos is about 100 US. So $100, she gets a night worth $300 US, or even 800, depending on how she uses them. And she's a pro, so she uses them well. So that's such a great benefit, and a lot of people just don't get. And I get it's very complicated sometimes, and may not seem like it's that good, but it really is very good if you use it well. And right after this video ends, we're going to post a last chance to convince you to get this deal. And it's an example, 31 examples of this really good certificate, how you can use it to get $800 worth of hotels. So stay tuned for that right after the video.
All right. And actually, I was going to say, I think you want to, because as Canadians, we can also get some of these cards. There's just some kind of maybe pro techniques that you wanted to put an article out about that at some point.
Yeah, so stay tuned if you're interested in getting US cards. We have a complete guide. Kevin, given his American girlfriend, has been at the forefront of testing everything for you. So we make sure, because there are very easy ways to mess it all up, and it could be pretty bad for your future opportunities to get credit cards in the US. You have to really do it right to set it up. And we're doing that for you, preparing that whole guide with Kevin as our little tester to try all that out. And we'll have that in the coming weeks so that you can do that, and we'll help you step by step. But yeah, it's not just as easy as getting, like, some people are like, oh, I have a US address. Great. That's one of the things, but it's not the only thing you need, unfortunately. So we'll have all those details for you very soon.
All right. So next question is from Crystal saying, I was denied 2 credit cards with RBC. They said I had too much credit. So I have lowered the limits now. When can I reapply?
I'd wait at least 3 months from the time your last application with one bank if they denied you. That's always a good idea. Honestly, I've never done it. I guess it really depends on every single person. I've never had to do it, but if you have that issue, you could just lower your limits on every card, indeed, and that way you'll be able to get more cards, so that you don't have $300K worth of credit open, but you can still have many cards, but just with lower limits to help you out with that.
Okay, and Patricia, sorry, is asking, with the airplane Visa card, how does the booking system know that I have the airplane card to therefore give me preferred pricing? Or does it automatically know when I sign up for the card and enter my airplane account number?
Yeah, absolutely. It's all automatic. So basically, when you apply for an Aeroplan credit card, you have to input your Aeroplan number, or if you don't, you can add it later. It's okay. But as long as at some point you tell the Aeroplan, as long as you tell the Aeroplan program that you have a credit card by linking that number, then automatically when you log into your Aeroplan account, Air Canada website, you will see the discounted price. Again, there aren't huge discounts, just to be clear. It's like a couple of 100 points off every flight, sometimes 1,000. It's better than nothing for sure, but it's just, don't want to over promise anything as well. Just to be very clear, it's not the best benefit in the world, but again, it's free discounts, so you should definitely make sure to use them. If it's automatic, you don't really have to do anything. You'll see the discounts as soon as you make a search on the Aeroplan website.
All right, and Dee wanted some clarification. So the certificate is of a certain monetary value, or a night in any hotel of the chain?
Yeah, so it's 35,000 points. So the certificate is 35,000 points, but you can't do what you want with the points, because 35,000 points is like 7 nights in Bali. You can't do that. It's one night, maximum 35,000 points. You can actually also top it up. So again, this is the post that as soon as we end this video, I'm sharing everywhere on our Facebook account, and you'll see it on our website, flighttrippers.com, about the 31 examples for this great certificate. has a little bit more details that way. You can top it up with 15,000 of your own points if you want more options first, but also sometimes it could be worth it, especially just like 2,000-3,000 more, just to get a hotel that's really nicer or worth a lot more if you kind of like the feeling of getting something that's worth a lot more, like I do. But yeah, so 35,000 points. That covers thousands of hotels of the 8,000 in the chain. Like I would say, good question. I don't want to estimate because I'm not sure the latest numbers, but like the majority of hotels by far. And then again, you can use them in North America, just to be clear. It just won't be a luxurious hotel though, because everything in North America is worse than everywhere else, as always, for travel. So you go anywhere else, you get way more luxurious and beautiful hotels. So that's what we recommend with this certificate, at least, to get the most value out of it.
Okay, David wants to know if you can name 3 cards that you keep after year after year, and 3 that you don't.
Yeah, I do want to caveat this with it really depends on each traveler. I'll tell you me, and I'll tell you how everyone should approach this. First is a Marriott Bonvoy card. Every single traveler should have this. Every single traveler should keep it because the certificate is worth $300. It's just like the easiest no-brainer that exists in this world. Can't believe how many people don't want to pay $120 to get a hotel night worth $300 or even $800. Like, it's literally one of the best benefits ever. Second, for me, is Cobalt, American Express Cobalt card. Evelyn will put the link if you're interested, because it's the best overall card in Canada, no doubt about it. If anyone tells you that any other card than Cobalt is the best card in Canada, clearly they don't know what they're talking about. Not to be mean, just to be factual, that's just the reality. It's by far the best overall card in Canada. So I keep it for all the times when I'm not unlocking welcome bonuses, which admittedly is not often, but if I'm in between 2 welcome bonuses, that end of that 3 months where, I ended my welcome bonus a little early, I have a couple of weeks maybe and not spending on welcome bonuses, well, I want to get 5 times the points. So Cobalt is the best 5x card because you can transfer it to Aeroplan, but there are other 5x cards that if you don't want complicated points that are really good. And Evan, you could put the gift card article in the comments. That's the one that has the list of cards that earn 5x. So there's American Express Cobalt, there's Scotiabank Gold Amex, there is the MBNA Rewards World Elite MasterCard. Those are really the best. I think why I'm saying this is I think everyone should have at least one 5x card in their wallet, just because, again, it's very hard. The goal is to aim for 100% of your spending on welcome bonuses, but it's very hard to be perfect and be hit 100% precisely. So it's always good to be at least earning 5x on everything else and never 1 or 2x. Third for me is Platinum card, because I travel a lot, 70 flights a year, 10 to 12 trips, whatever. So I prefer having lounge access. Once you've tasted that, it's really hard to go back. Sitting at the gate with the vibe is just a whole other experience at the airport, having free food, free beverages, and just a quiet spot to relax in the lounge. But I wouldn't recommend that for anyone who doesn't travel that much, just because, well, it's a high fee card. It's the most premium card in Canada. But I think having a card with some form of lounge access is probably a good one to keep, depending on how often you travel. And then fourth and last is really the oldest cards on my wall. I have one that I've had since 2018 or something like that. 2008. It's getting late here. I'm having a hard time with that number for some reason. So as soon as I turned 18 in 2008, opened a credit card. I've never closed it since. So that way I have a great credit score, but also really important to never close that. So it's there. It's in my wallet. No, actually, it's not in my wallet. It's my drawer because I never use it, but it's there. So at least my credit score gets the benefit. But that's really the gist of it. I think if you're going to add a few for like most people, maybe not everyone, but the business version of the Marriott Bonvoy card, if you can unlock the welcome bonus that requires more spending than the personal version, it's a no-brainer because I get the second certificate. Boy, do I love those certificates. My girlfriend has both cards as well. So more certificates. Lastly, if you fly Air Canada even the slightest and you like to check bags, unlike me, well then an Aeroplan card with free bags on Air Canada is basically pays for itself every single year if you just buy 3 bags or something. So free bag for you, free bag for 8 people on the same reservation for any flight that where you check in with Air Canada. So that's a really good benefit of the Aeroplan cards. So that could be worth it. And you say 3 that I don't keep. I'd say the other 200 cards in Canada, or 200 or so. I mean, that's really very rare that the benefits outweigh the fee the second year. I used to keep the HSBC, doesn't exist anymore. I'm not sure I'm going to keep the RBC Avion that replaces it just because it doesn't have the $100 credit the HSBC did. So that's pretty much it, I think.
All right. And if you have other questions, please ask them. I see there's other comments, but it's all just comparing US programs. Well.
Okay.
And yeah, someone mentioning that there's a lot of cards here, and that is you can get more points than you need in Canada as well. But you know, if you have a social security number and a US address, you can have more. Yeah, so that's the gist of that.
Just comments. Okay, so last chance. I think it's 9:43. Well, at least here in the east. I don't know if we have some people out west where they're still early, but we still have 16 minutes until 10. If you have any questions, we would be glad to help you out. Feel free. Don't be shy. That's why we do these videos every month. If not, well, I could kind of maybe wrap it up. Again, if you... Oh, there you go. Got a new one. Yes.
Yeah.
Don't be shy. I want to keep talking. I love talking about points. I love free travel. Basically, the idea of travel rewards is really... If you like traveling, if you like saving money, it's like the most perfect thing that's ever been invented. And I love traveling, and I love saving money. Probably way more than most people. So it's a great way to do both. Should really get into it if you haven't yet. Cool. 2
right.
questions.
We got 2 more. So Krista wants to know a good MasterCard for Costco.
Okay. I will actually go one step back and remind you, like, the best card to use is always a card with a huge welcome bonus. That's always the best if you want to maximize. Right now, the welcome bonuses on most MasterCards aren't really high. Actually, we're really strong on Amex and Visa for the time being. It's really cyclic, like it cycles. Like sometimes it comes in like the WestJet MasterCard used to have a really big offer until mid-April, so it just ended. I'm sure it'll come back. Oh, we'll have great MasterCard soon, but right now it's just, I would highly recommend getting one of the top bonuses. They give you 600, 700, 800. They're all Visas and American Express cards right now. So for Costco, you have a few workarounds until there's a good offer on a MasterCard. First workaround, especially if you're doing a Visa, you can actually buy Costco gift cards. They call them shop cards, right? The red Costco gift card at the Costco online website. So you can pay with Visa on the Costco website. So there you go. You kind of indirectly use a Visa at Costco by buying a gift card on their website online. The one caveat to that, very important, is you won't get the extended warranty that you would get with a credit card. So if you're buying chicken breast in bulk, you don't need the extended warranty, of course, it doesn't matter. But if you're buying something for the home, like something electronic, whatever, that you want the extended warranty, then use whatever MasterCard you have in your wallet at that time that you're going to keep the next year for a extended warranty program. Second workaround, obviously, is to buy prepaid MasterCards at the grocery store with a Cobalt, with other 5X cards. Buy the $500 ones, so that way you spread out the activation fee over a higher amount, and that way it becomes a 1.5% fee, which makes it a no-brainer to use a Cobalt even without a welcome bonus. 5X, that's about 7.5% back, being really conservative. The activation fee is 1.5%, so you're actually still earning 6% with Cobalt at Costco indirectly, again with the same insurance caveat. But maybe, and then just maybe, because we're not allowed to say when we know new offers are coming up, but maybe more new MasterCard offers are coming soon. Maybe they'll be great. So we'll see.
All right. So Diane wants to know why we never review a Hilton Honors card.
Because again, those are American cards. There are no Hilton cards in Canada, unfortunately. But as soon as our guide comes out for how to get, because our audience is close to 100% Canadian right now, so we don't cover American cards. But once we do cover the guide for Canadians to get American cards, we will cover American cards. And the Hilton ones are very good ones indeed, just again for hotel points. But for now, yeah, if you have a specific question, I do know a little bit about them, but yeah, so you can ask them. And by the way, Diane had a comment. It was Diane as well, said you are both doing an excellent job. Well, thank you. By the way, we really appreciate that you're here. I would literally talk about points and travel for like the whole night. So I'm just glad some people are interested, that we can help you out, because it's a really, really easy way to get more travel if you put in just a little bit of time to understand how it works. It's intimidating, it's counterintuitive, but it is really, really worth it.
All right. And Gary says that he missed most of this, but wants to know if the CIBC Aventura is any good.
Yeah, they're really good. Actually, we have we'll have a lot more content on those in May. Sorry, I was gonna say June, but no, we're still in May. The offer is ending tonight, so for May, our focus is actually going to shift to those cards. I really wanted to focus on Marriott because it's a really good deal for everyone. But yeah, you'll see more content about those ones coming very soon.
All right, and Dee wanted to comment that the lounge in Toronto, I think YYZ is Toronto, right? Yeah. Is really bad, and we'll try the Maple Leaf Lounge. What's your take on it?
There are many lounges in Toronto Pearson. I think 10 and counting, or even maybe more overall. So I don't know which one specifically you're talking about that's bad. Honestly, I've tried, think all the Plaza Premium ones, the Canadian and Transporter Maple Leaf lounges. They're not the best, sure, but they're not that bad. I mean, at least, again, the ones I've tried, I don't know which one you're talking specifically. I did Plaza Premium Domestic, Plaza Premium Transporter. Those are nice. I mean, they're okay. I might not have done Plaza Premium International, though, so maybe that's the one that's not good. Not too sure. No, actually, I did do them all, so yeah. Kind of a little blurred out when you travel as much as I do. That's a very, very first world problem, but sometimes I'm like, where was I when I had this experience? It was epic. I loved it, but I don't even remember which country it was. That's the problem when you travel as much. It is a pretty damn good problem to have, though. I'll admit that. So, yeah. But yeah, okay, international. I think, yeah, that's the one that's the worst of the Plaza Premiums. But again, I'll take the worst lounge over the best gate 11 times out of 10. That's just me. But yeah, it's always better when the lounges are great, and they're really upping their game, because more and more people are getting in on the lounge game. And like, if you visited the newest Air Canada lounge, so I was invited to the Air Canada Maple Leaf Lounge opening in San Francisco back in June, so inauguration event with the Aeroplan VPs and all that, just so I could cover it. It's like above and beyond anything you've ever seen in a Maple Leaf Lounge in Canada, and they're aiming to redo all the ones in Canada to match that new standard and really upscale. Really, really nice. So it won't be done like overnight, obviously, because it's really complicated to build anything in a secure area in an airport, and space is limited and all that. But it's getting better, and it'll just keep getting better as well. So yeah.
All right. Crystal wants to know, what do you use the Avion points for?
Almost 100% of my RBC Avion points I transfer to British Airways Avios, because I love to maximize. It's way harder, just to be very upfront, it's way harder to maximize the British Airways Avios compared to Aeroplan. Fewer partners, routings. Well, basically the rules are different, that every segment is charged separately. So whereas Aeroplan, if you're flying Toronto to Miami to Bogota, you're only calculating the total distance. That's the price. With Avios, pardon me, you fly Montreal, Toronto to Miami, and then Miami to Bogota, while you're charged separately for each segment. So it does kind of make it a little harder to maximize. And whereas Aeroplan has 48 partner airlines, Avios has 20 or so. So again, a lot more restrictive, but that's, again, I travel a lot. So for me, it's easier and I'm super flexible because I can work from anywhere, work whenever I want, travel whenever I want. So a lot easier for me to maximize, but that's just the way you'll get the best value. Like for example, with 71,000 70,000 Avion points. It's getting late. I'll start that whole phrase over just to get it simple. 70,000 RBC Avion points last summer. Flew Montreal to Doha on the world's best business class, Qatar Airways Q suites. 70,000 points, 160 in taxes, and that was worth close to $4,000. So just to give you an idea, 70,000 points with RBC Avion, if you use that for any travel booked on their own website, it'll give you $700. It's not bad. I mean, $700 free is $700 free, but 700 can be 4,000. I prefer 4,000, but yeah, that's just me. I very rarely travel in business class, honestly, but that's the best value always. But even in economy, I use my RBC Avion points for transfers to British Airways Avios. For example, one last example, we actually had a post about this recently about my Brazil flights. Evelyn, if you want to put the really good example for RBC Avion points, I transferred to American Airlines Advantage, which I had never done in my entire life, and I got the best value I've ever gotten for any points in economy in my life. So that's just an example to show you that it's worth always comparing the options, just taking the time to compare. Because I was in Brazil, domestic flight from Rio to Sao Paulo, and Taylor Swift was in town. I don't know if you've ever heard of her. Apparently she's a big thing. Very big deal. So flights were like $1,000 for a 1 hour flight, which was objectively completely insane. I wouldn't have paid that. I would just have taken the bus, really, because I'm not going to pay $1,000, pardon me, for a 1 hour flight. But with points, it was just 6,000 points. So like 6,000 points for 1,000. It was just crazy value. That's the beauty of these airline points, but they're more complicated. So yeah.
All right, so Laurie wants to know, I had a very old no-fee RBC Visa card that I don't believe I ever actually canceled, but I don't get renewal cards anymore. At what point do the bank cancel the card if there is no activity?
Yeah, that's a good point. We usually recommend using every card once a year. I've never had problems by doing that. I would be scared, especially for, again, that card that I've had for 15 years now. If they close that, my credit score is, it's not going to be very good, right? Because it's my oldest card and by far. So I take them out like once a year. I have two of those old ones that I just keep in a drawer, but I take them out, go to the corner store when I'm buying something for $2, use those cards, pay them off right away. Ooh, my screen flashed there for a second. And that way, I'm sure they won't cancel them. So at some point, indeed, they could probably cancel them if there's no activity. I've heard of that happen. So I've been doing that proactive one little day of effort every year with those two cards. If you don't get renewal cards, well, that's probably what happened. But then again, you should easily see it on your RBC website, dashboard, online account, whatever you want to call it. Go log into RBC. If you don't see the card there, well, then indeed they closed it. But if it's there, well, then you could ask them to send a renewal card just so that you're up to date, and then use it once just to make sure, again, once a year, minimal effort, but just to make sure there's no cards being canceled on you without your knowledge or agreement.
Okay, and Crystal wants to know your thoughts on the WestJet Buddy Pass. Is it worth it?
It can in some situations. The Buddy Passes, companion vouchers, all that. The big downside of those, why I personally don't really like them, is that So I'll just give context for the 20 or so other people who might not know what these companion vouchers are. So with the WestJet World Elite MasterCard from RBC, and Evelyn will put the link there if you're interested, it does have a $400 welcome bonus. It's not too bad. It's not the highest it's ever been, but with the companion voucher, it could be interesting if you value that. It's basically a BOGO, like buy one, get one, but you actually have to pay the taxes and 99, 100 whatever dollars for the free ticket, plus the taxes again. So you see already why it's not that great. But the main issue with that is that if you want to maximize a BOGO, buy one, get one, to get the most value out of the free ticket, that means the ticket's really expensive, right? If you get the most value, it's because the ticket's expensive. But you have to buy one to get the other one. So you have to pay one that's really expensive to get a really cheap free one or whatever. And like inversely, if you get a really good deal on a flight so that the ticket you're paying is really cheap, well then the free ticket you get isn't that big of a value, right? So I don't know if that kind of makes sense, but in many situations it could be worth it. Like if you're stuck and you have to buy this one ticket that's really expensive, well then at least you get one free, right? So if you're not flexible, it could be really worth it. For example, I have a couple of friends that are a couple that flew from Toronto to Las Vegas last year when I was in Vegas to join me at a music festival. Really kind of like spur of the moment. I posted on social media, like, I don't know, 5 days before the festival that I had a big hotel room with Marriott hotel room, of course, with my points. That was way too big for me, and most importantly, very expensive, that I wanted to share and split the cost with. So I was like, hey, is anyone going to this festival? Split a room. They saw the ticket prices to get to Las Vegas were really expensive, but they're like, we really want to go to this festival. So they used those WestJet companion vouchers, because at least one was expensive, but the alternative was they were going to pay two of them at a very expensive price. So at least that's a good use, but really depends on all the ways you travel, very different from one person to the other.
All right, and I see one last question here, and it's probably gonna be the last for tonight. So Diane wants to know, how do you use Aeroplan points for non-Air Canada flights? On my Airplan account, I only see only Air Canada flights appear.
Yeah, so that's one of the biggest misconceptions with Aeroplan. A lot of people use them for Air Canada flights. It's honestly almost always lower value. Because what? Well, you can get any seat on any Air Canada flight with your points. Whereas with partner airlines, seats are limited. That's the main difference. The reason the seats are limited is that they can offer those better prices, fixed guaranteed prices. There's an award chart on partners. If you fly from, there's literally no example coming to mind here because I don't remember the award chart, but I think from North America to Europe, the first distance span is 35,000 points, okay? Again, don't quote me on this. Let's use 35,000 for the example. I'm 90% sure. Well, if you find partner flights, it's always going to be 35,000. It cannot vary. It's guaranteed to be 35,000. It's distance. There's the price on the chart. So that's why it's usually going to be better value. But for them to be able to offer this fixed price, well, they have to limit the seats because they can't put every seat. That would make sense for anyone. So the key is to be really flexible. Either to book way ahead or to be very flexible on your different routings, your different layovers, stopovers, and search often. Search very often. It used to be a really cool tool to help us find availability. Air Canada sued them into oblivion. So now you have to search and search and search often. There's really no shortcut. And it's a perfect filter because so many people want to put in absolutely no effort. And that's fine. That's their prerogative. But that way, the best deals remain available for us who are willing to put in just a little bit of effort. It's way harder with airline points, like I said, than with hotel points because hotels, every available room you can get with your points. That's why airline points are worth more too. Again, everything in life is either more simple or more lucrative. So airline points, Aeroplan specifically is the best example. You can use them for all Air Canada seats, so it's really simple. It's going to be worth less, and not worthless, but worth less. Still free stuff, right? It's still great, but you can get more value with partner airlines. So you have to search on Air Canada. That's where they appear, but you have to be more flexible. You have to try to different dates. If you're able to leave at least 1 or 2 days before, come back 1 or 2 days later, it'll really help to find those seats. But if they don't appear there, that's because there's no availability. And if you're flying domestically, obviously there's no partners. It's really for international flights. So we're over by 3 minutes, and I think we have all questions are answered, right? Okay, so thank you for all those of you who've stayed, especially I see a few of you who've stayed the whole time. Thank you so much. Again, we do these videos every month to help you out so that we can answer your questions, but also tell you a little bit more about what the deals are and our tips. So again, if you want free hotel points, you have 2 hours left, or I don't know really how it works. If you're out west, I guess you have until midnight out west too, so you actually have a little bit more time. But tonight, this offer ends. Really, really good deal. Never will you hear me say for any other card that every single traveler should get it. So there you have it. On that note, it's getting late, and thank you again for being here. So we'll call it a night. Give me 5 minutes and I will post the 31 examples of really expensive hotels you can get with your points. And not with your points, pardon me, with your certificate for the Marriott card. Give you a really good glimpse of how valuable that is. And we'll see you next month. Good night.
Thank you. Bye.